Welcome back to another episode of the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. Okay, this episode is going to be about SmackDown, Superstars, and NXT. Prior to the SmackDown taping, Seth Rollins, aka Tyler Black from the organization Ring of Honor, made his WWE debut tonight in a dark match in Dayton, Ohio. Rollins lost to Cody Rhodes. Rollins was at Raw tapings from Monday night, but was not used. Okay, on with the rest of the Superstars matches I've already did from the Monday night Raw earlier show. Okay, Tyler Reks defeated JTG. Trent Beretta defeated Kurt Hawkins. Nothing else was stated on that report. And on with the NXT. Usual WWE intro plays right before the NXT video airs with the 6 new rookies match with their pros. Pyros go off as Todd Grisham welcomes us to the show. Matt Striker is in the ring and welcomes the new WWE pros. R-Truth emerges first and sings his old theme since he's dropped the new one. Truth says his guy is the hottest thing since Girls and introduces his rookie Johnny Curtis. Ted DiBiase and Maurice are out next, and DiBiase calls his rookie the most intimidating powerhouse ever on NXT, Brodus Clay. Chris Masters says his rookie is brash, cocky, and full of himself, and isn't a masterpiece, but close to it, Byron Saxton. Dolph Ziggler says if his rookie listens to him, he may be almost as good as him, Jacob Novak. Daniel Bryan is next and says his rookie is manly. So manly that his name is Derek Bateman. Ricardo Rodriguez walks out and introduces Alberto Del Rio, who drives a Mercedes-Benz into the arena. Rodriguez introduces Connor O'Brien for Del Rio, and the two make their way into the ring along with the rest of the rookies and pros. Striker welcomes rookies and tells them that they have a huge opportunity to become a WWE superstar. Striker says everything the rookies say and do will be under a microscope. He goes on to say the WWE Universe and the WWE Pros will vote to determine who wins the competition, and that the winner of NXT Season 4 will have a championship match of his choosing on a live pay-per-view. Striker then gives each rookie 30 seconds to introduce themselves. Johnny Curtis is first, and before he introduces himself, he sends a shout out to the WWE Universe and to his 4th grade teacher. Curtis ends by saying, "A vote for me is a vote for freedom." Brodus Clay is next and tells WWE Universe to recognize who he is. Clay says he will be the next breakout star, and there are 2 things that the fans can do about it. Nothing or like it. Byron Saxton takes the floor and somewhat sarcastically says he looks forward to building a bond with the WWE Universe, and together he will become the next breakout star. Jacob Novak asks the WWE Universe if they grew up playing games like chess. He said he played Monopoly and loved it because he liked to own the competition. Novak says that's exactly what he'll do on NXT Season 4. Derek Bateman is next and states that he is honored to be debuting in his home state of Ohio. He says today, a day that will live in infamy because he is man-tastic. Conor O'Brien's last and says people think he looks like a rat. O'Brien says that rats are survivors. Striker begins to talk again, but Del Rio cuts him off. Tells O'Brien that if it will be his rookie, he needs to do a better job because he's boring. Just like Daniel Bryan, Bryan tells O'Brien not to listen to Del Rio, and that even though O'Brien looks like a rat, Del Rio is jealous because he has a ring announcer and a car, but has never won a title. Del Rio and Bryan are about to fight before Striker breaks the 2 up. Striker says the first main event of NXT Season 4 will feature Alberto Del Rio and his rookie, Conor O'Brien, taking on Derek Bateman and the U.S. champion Dan O'Brien. They replayed a promo for Byron Saxton from last week. They sent a promo where Saxton shows a few home videos and says he started with WWE as an announcer for ECW, but saw NXT as an opportunity. He says it's his time, and losers don't lose. Johnny Curtis versus Jacob Novak is the first match to take place on NXT Season 4, and it's up next. After the break, Curtis and Novak counter each other's holds. Novak takes advantage, shoulder blocking Curtis in a corner. Curtis gets to the apron and jumps over Novak, going for a backslide, getting a near fall. Two are mainly throwing punches, with Curtis working as a face, getting his name chanted by the fans. Novak applies a sleeper, but Curtis shows his way out and drops Novak with a spinning clothesline. He whips Novak off the ropes, but takes a kick to the face. Novak, however, walks into a power slam for a 2 count. Curtis gets the win shortly after a very average match. We have a look at Brodus Clay, saying he used to be a bodyguard, but is out for himself. Clay says he's in it for a paycheck, the glory and fame. He says nobody else will influence his destiny but him. Dan O'Brien and Derek Bateman versus Alberto Del Rio and Conor O'Brien is hyped some more as we go to another break. Back from commercial with the rookies and Matt Striker standing at the top of the stage. It's time for a rookie challenge. Striker says every rookie challenge win earns an immunity point. The rookie who has the most points will be immune from elimination. Striker calls it a capture the flag challenge. Rookies must get a ladder into the ring, climb up the ladder, grab a flag, climb down the rungs, and run it back to the top of the stage as fast as they can. Fastest time wins the competition. Johnny Curtis is up, gets 28.6 seconds. Connor is up, and he gets 28.2 seconds. Brodus Clay was up next. Moved okay for a man his size, but failed to set the new time. His finishing time was 33.5 seconds. Striker asked Byron if he has any ideas on how to win, and Saxton says he will just be himself. Saxton moves very slow, boasting for the most part, and finishes in over 56 seconds. Novak gets advice from Ziggler and Striker and asks him if he's nervous. Novak says he's never nervous and sets a new time to beat 26.9 seconds. Striker asks Bateman if he thinks he can beat that time. Bateman says he can. In a hilarious moment, Del Rio chimes in and calls Bateman a loser, and he gets a ladder into the ring. Byron starts a Bateman chant, and Bateman finishes in 27.3 seconds. Novak wins the first challenge and earns immunity. Josh Matthews says the clock was off and that Bateman finished with a better time. Byron and Bateman versus Del Rio and O'Brien is hyped again. And they go to a Raw rebound. After the card rundown for TLC, Ted DiBiase and Maurice are arguing backstage. He said it is not just an opportunity for Clay, but an opportunity for them. DiBiase says they need to turn his presence into the strength and power. Maurice says he needs a makeover, and DiBiase tells Clay if he listens to them, he'll win. Clay and DiBiase walk off. Maurice is insulted. Chris Masters and Byron Saxton are talking backstage as Saxton is rubbing his chest. Masters says he will be money and has workout tips for him. Saxton says he knows what he's doing, and the two flex their muscles before Saxton walks away from his pro. Tag match is next. Byron and Bateman are out first. They take a quick break. Del Rio and O'Brien are now in as well. Bateman and O'Brien start things off. O'Brien takes control out of the way. Big stomps in the corner as he tags in Del Rio, who does the same. O'Brien gets tagged back and quickly goes for a corner. O'Brien with a snap suplex, but not even a 1 count. Del Rio is back in and keeps going for quick pins. O'Brien tags in Bateman, starts to fight back, but takes a drop toe hold and is covered for 2. Bateman then gives O'Brien an airplane spin and tags in Bryan. Bryan then does an airplane spin as well, but does it for at least 30 seconds as the fans start to cheer. Bryan kicks O'Brien out of the ring. Del Rio screams at his rookie. Bryan knocks Del Rio off the apron, tags in Bateman. Bateman hits a suicide dive through the top and middle ropes, taking out Del Rio and Bryan as well, and then they go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Byron comes off the top with an axe handle to O'Brien with an arm bar. Byron with big kicks in the corner now, and Irish whip to the opposite corner. Bryan charges, but Del Rio moves his rookie away and tags in Del Rio. With Byron up in a body slam position, but turns it into a backbreaker for a 2 count. Del Rio with knees to the back and a submission. Bryan fights his way to his feet, and then shovels out. Hitting a sunset flip for a 2. Del Rio with a drop kick, and O'Brien tags in. O'Brien quickly tags Del Rio back, who mocks Bryan. Bryan takes the shots at Del Rio and O'Brien before hitting a running kick to the chest of Del Rio. Byron tags in Bateman, and the rookies takes down Del Rio for a somersault neckbreaker. O'Brien breaks the count, which brings Bryan back in. Bryan clotheslines O'Brien over the top and hits a plancha to the outside. Inside the ring, Bateman misses a crossbody and Del Rio applies a cross armbar. Bateman has nowhere to go and taps out in a pretty good match. Byron checks on his rookie and helps it to the back. Del Rio and O'Brien stand tall to end the show. Okay, 4 minutes remaining. SmackDown starts off with opens the show. World Heavyweight Champion Kane begging Edge to surrender Paul Bearer. Edge is shown on the big screen, tricks him with another dummy version of Paul Bearer. They plug the championship Kane versus Alberto Del Rio versus Edge versus Rey Mysterio match. Jack Swagger beat Caval with Caval submitted in the ankle lock. After the match, Swagger says he cheated last week by Kofi Kingston. Hornswoggle defeated Jack Swagger's Eagle mascot. Match saw Hornswoggle throw breadcrumbs on the mat to distract the Eagle, and it has a temple splash for the finisher. Segment is taped where Chavo Guerrero and a partner of his choosing challenge Santino and Vladimir Kozlov for the WWE Tag Team Championship later on tonight. Kofi Kingston defeated Dolph Ziggler by disqualification when Jack Swagger pulled Kofi out of the ring and he locked him in an ankle lock. Chris Masters comes out for the Master Lock Challenge against Dax and Cody Rhodes. Cody makes Masters put on a sanitizer and file his nails. He tries to leave. Master puts him in the Master Lock for that. Okay, Tag Team Championship match is up next. Chavo's mystery partner, Drew McIntyre. Santino connected with the Cobra on Chavo, followed it with a pinfall. After the match, Drew McIntyre hit Chavo with a DDT. Diva Championship match, Natalia with Beth Phoenix defeated Layla after making her tap in the sharpshooter. World Heavyweight Champion Kane didn't come out for the main event, so Teddy Long came out and made the match a handicap match, Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio and Edge. Kane came out midway through the match, and Edge met him in a rampway, so they fought to the back. Kane is shown on the big screen chasing after Edge. Kane pushes a ladder off a cliff, thinking it's another Paul Bearer dummy, but it's actually Paul Bearer himself. Rey ended up beating Alberto Del Rio to end the show, and that ends their SmackDown and also my report for WWE this week with the SmackDown Superstars and NXT.